Okay, let's get one thing straight right from the jump. We are not talking about a sport today. What we're diving into is a system that was meticulously engineered for one single purpose: survival. This is Tetsuryoku-Ryu, which you can translate as Iron Force style. And believe me, it is built from the ground up for the brutal, messy reality of real-world, unfiltered combat. And if you want to understand the mindset behind this whole thing, just read this quote from the people who made it. The fight would last 4 seconds, and the audience would be horrified. Yeah, there are no rounds here, there are no points, and there are definitely no trophies. This is about one thing and one thing only: ending a violent encounter with absolute, devastating finality. So why? Why does a system like Tetsuryoku-Ryu even need to exist? Well, it was created to solve a very specific and very dangerous problem: that massive gap between what works in a ring with a referee and what works in a dark alley when there are no rules at all. And this breaks it down perfectly. I mean, look at the difference. In the octagon, you've got soft mats, you've got rules, you've got someone who can stop the fight. On the street, you have what the system calls the concrete variable. That means gravity itself becomes a weapon against you. And those 4-ounce gloves, forget about it. A bare knuckle changes everything. This art is built for that brutal, bare knuckle world. So who's the mind behind this? The architect is a guy named Jarrod A. Freeman. And he saw that so many traditional martial arts, as great as they are, were often too specialized for the pure chaos of a real fight. So he didn't approach it like a sensei. He approached it like an engineer. He literally reverse-engineered violent encounters to build a synthesis of only the most effective, most battle-tested pieces from other arts. And I love this slide, because it's exactly right. A Frankenstein of lethality. It's like he went shopping for the deadliest parts of other styles. From Kyokushin karate, you get the insane body conditioning, the iron. From Aikido, you strip away all the philosophy and you keep the pure, brutal physics of joint locks and pivots. From Judo and Sambo, you get kuzushi, the science of completely destroying someone's balance. And of course, from Muay Thai and dirty boxing, you get the absolute nightmare of the clinch. And all of that brings us to the secret sauce, the engine that makes the whole thing run: Tachikomi Chikara, or standing forces. And here is the key insight. This is so important. You are not fighting your opponent's muscles. You're fighting their skeleton. You're fighting their relationship with gravity. If you can use angles to collapse their base, the fight is pretty much already over.
So, how do you collapse that base? How do you actually do it? Well, it all comes down to a simple, almost laughably simple, truth of biomechanics. This is it. This is the scientific core of the whole system: physics over strength.
I mean, this is the age-old question, right? It's the question every single martial art on the planet tries to answer. How do you make sure that a bigger, stronger person doesn't just run you over? Well, Tetsuryoku-Ryu's answer is what its founder calls a cheat code that's literally written into our own anatomy. And here is that secret. Think about it. Our bodies, your body, it's engineered to be strong against force from the front or directly from the side. You can brace against it. But what happens when you apply that same force at a 45-degree angle? It's like a bug in the human operating system. Our skeletal structure has almost zero support there. It's a dead angle, a total blind spot in our own design. 45 degrees. That's it. That is the cheat code. The system actually calls it the open door. And that's exactly what it is. It's not about being stronger, it's not about being faster, it's about finding that open door in your opponent's structure and just walking right through it. Okay, so we have the theory, we have the physics, the cheat code, but what does that actually look like in a real confrontation? Well, the system's philosophy is just as ruthlessly efficient as the physics it's based on. It's designed to end the threat before it can even really get started. The philosophy is just 3 simple words: disrupt, dominate, done. First, you use that 45-degree principle to disrupt their balance, to shatter their structure. Then, in that split second while their brain is screaming, "I'm falling!" and trying to reset, you dominate with strikes. And finally, done. You end the threat and you're gone. It's a 3-second solution to a life-threatening problem. So let's run a few scenarios. How does this philosophy actually stack up against common threats you might face? Okay, a boxer. You take away their base. A boxer can't punch if they don't have a solid platform under them. Simple as that. A BJJ practitioner on the street. You use anti-grappling, because pulling guard on concrete, well, that's just suicide. And a wild street brawler. This is the best part. You just use their own chaotic momentum against them. You redirect it, and they essentially throw themselves.
Now, of course, knowing all this theory is one thing. Having it in your bones when the adrenaline hits is something else entirely. So the training is designed to burn these principles deep into your muscle memory, turning conscious thought into pure subconscious instinct.
And the progression is incredibly fast and focused. The first couple of weeks, it's all about mastering that stance and those angles over and over again. By weeks 3 and 4, you're drilling actual disruptions and what they call wall jams, using a surface to control someone. And look at that caption, street ready in 4 weeks. That's a really bold claim, but it's built on this idea of focused, principle-based training.
Which brings us to the end, the real reason this art was created in the first place. You see, it was never about glory. It was never about belts or winning competitions. The ultimate purpose is something far more fundamental and way more important than any of that.
It all comes down to this idea, the return home. And this statement just says it all. We are not here to win a belt. We are here to ensure you are the one who walks away. It's not about winning. It's about surviving. It's about getting home, period.
And so that really leaves us with one final big question to think about. We spend almost all of our lives in a world that is absolutely governed by rules, by laws, by civility. So what is the true value of mastering a system that is engineered specifically for those terrifying few seconds when all of those rules just completely vanish?